We are preparing for winter. It is fastly coming upon us, and that means that salt is going to be on the roads, and it is going to be aggressive. Now, when I mean aggressive, I mean like that salt just sucks the life right out of your car. So here's what you want to do. You want to get you some acetone, okay? Because you're going to need that. You're going to need a grinder, because you're going to need that. You're going to need some paint. You're going to need some wire wheels. Preferably not the one from Harbor Freight, because it sucks. Look at that. You're going to need gloves. You're going to need a mask, you know, a air filter, throat cleaner outer. You're going to need some Scotch-Brite, and you're going to need some safety glasses, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to take your grinder. You're just going to whiz all over the place, okay? And take all the heavy stuff off. You're not trying to make a mirror out of the metal or nothing. You're just taking the heavy scaling off. Then what you're going to do once you get it descaled is you're going to take your acetone, you're going to take some Scotch-Brite, scrub her down, okay? You're going to get any oils, any grease, any gunk off that's left, right? Then what you're going to do is take some black spray paint, and you're going to just... Perfect. And then, yeah, that'll slow down the rust. So that's the process you're going to see in a minute here. I've just compiled a little montage of, you know, what I did. So yeah, if you like watching it, stick around. If not, well, I just told you the process. So this is where you're going to take your Scotch-Brite pad and your acetone, put the acetone on the Scotch-Brite pad, and then scrub on your frame, whole bunch, and then you'll be ready for... So now we've come to the paint process, and you're going to want to remember that this is not a show car, okay? This is just a vehicle. We're trying to slow the rust down. So you took the scaling off. Now you take your $4 spray paint can, and yeah, I went with this one because it's the cheapest. So it's black, semi-gloss, stops rust. That's the most important part right there. Yeah, so here we go. That brand stinking new, and you don't need to prep, you don't need to tape all this off. It'll wash off. Now remember, you do not have to get this perfect, you just have to get it. That's the thing.
under here with some paint that claims to make rust go away.
For winter?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, when I grew up out on the farm, we always use this on stuff, and it seemed to keep rust away, so I figured since I want to keep this for a few years, you know, I would,
wow, that's good.
You know.
That's good.
So at this point I had gotten the painting done of the underside, and I remembered that the doors look like garbage on this thing, so I'm gonna try to save on those as best as I can. So just taking the scaling off, I'm gonna do the same thing. Just try to slow this down. I don't want holes in the door. I can deal with, you know, some rough spots. Here's the finished product on the doors. The yellow light on the step makes it look like there's rust in there, but it's not. It's all solid black and coated pretty good. So what are my final thoughts? I think it is absolutely worth your time. It took me 5 or 6 hours to get it ground down, which is a lot. I know, you gotta have some perseverance to work on your car, boo-hoo. And then it took me at least another hour and a half or 2 hours to paint. They do sell that paint that I used in a gallon jug, so if you have a sprayer, absolutely that's going to save you some time, because with the paint sprayer you can put out quite a bit more product than with a spray can. But tis the nature of the beast. Anyways, yeah, I'd absolutely get out there, go do it. It's my vehicle's got 245,000 miles now, and it spent most of its life in the Rust Belt, so the rockers are completely blown out as it was. That's why, if you really paid attention, you saw that I didn't paint those. That's because I'm going to replace them next spring anyways, because they're basically non-existent. And but the cab, yeah, 2003 Ford Excursion, not really going to get a cab. And if you are going to find a cab for it, it's a lot of stinking work, and it's really expensive. So I'd rather just save on the cab that I've got. There's no substantial rust on the cab. There's a couple spots where there's some good surface, you know, flaking going on, but you know, you just hit it on a couple times and it's fine. So that means we can still save it, we can still grind it down, paint it, you know, stop the rust in its tracks, or at least slow it down far enough that it won't go bad in my lifetime. So yeah, I'd say get out there, it's worth it. The spray paint that I use is only $4 a can, and I know from previous experience that does a great job of you know, dampening the effects that the salt has. So I think that's it.